Loading, loading. Okay. All right. Okay. So, welcome to this episode of Legal Morse of Action. Today, we are going to review the Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock divorce and what happened in their divorce, and my favorite part, which is the business divorce. Well, I guess it's not really a business divorce, but the business part where they had a separate but somehow interrelated business side of this. And I am excited about that
Yes.
part. It's my favorite
I think
part.
that we're going to preference this pod with Aaron and myself are obsessed with Kelly Clarkson. We are learning this
we are
as
very
we
much.
go. And that, I mean, who could not be? I think I was stating, but Attorney Moore said save it for the pod. It is, who did not grow up watching American Idol? First off, I'll never forget when she won against Justin. I'll never forget a moment like this. I was literally singing it to a moment like this. So Attorney Moore,
I love Kelly Clarkson.
Any song she does is amazing. Any cover she does is amazing. Anything she touches is gold.
I love Kelly Clarkson, so I'm so excited to go over her.
Absolutely.
This is a favorite episode of mine.
Yes.
So I'll talk a little bit about Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Breanne Clarkson was born on April 24th of 1982. That makes her a Taurus. In Fort Worth, Texas. I'm just kidding.
I love Tauruses.
Yeah. She's the youngest of 3 children born of her parents' marriage. Her parents were later divorced when Kelly was only 6 years old. She was predominantly raised by her mother after that. Her family put heavy emphasis on church going, and she was raised Southern Baptist. While in middle school, the school choir teacher overheard Clarkson singing and encouraged her to audition. She had never received formal training before this. From there, Clarkson continued to receive training, singing in the choir, and starred in several of the school's musicals.
I think this is exactly what I pictured her life to be.
Yeah. Adorable.
Southern Belle.
Though she hoped to achieve a scholarship in college through these efforts, she ultimately ended up turning down offers of admission from several universities in favor of pursuing a career as a recording artist. She would work nonstop for 2 years and move to Los Angeles, then back to Texas, record multiple demos, and decline at least 2 less than ideal recording contracts before her big break. I actually think that was really smart of her.
Yeah, I'm shocked she declined them. I kind of want to know more about that.
Hopefully it's because she had a decent lawyer and they looked at it and said, they're going to own you, basically, because I think a lot of artists become so obsessed or so desirous of this ability to become a recording artist that they'll take anything. Anyway, that's how Diddy controls people. Clarkson won the inaugural season of American Idol in 2002, and with it came a record deal with RCA Records. Her debut single, A Moment Like This, reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Clarkson has continued to produce hits and has been known for her vocal versatility, seamlessly transitioning between R&B, pop, and pop rock. She's one of the world's best-selling recording artists with 3 Grammy Awards, 3 MTV Video Music Awards, 4 American Music Awards, and 8 Daytime Emmy Awards. I actually didn't realize she had that many Daytime Emmy Awards.
And I kind of want to watch these music videos because I'm wondering which song it is. I feel like nowadays you don't typically watch music videos as much.
Right.
But back then you just put on MTV or the country music station.
Yeah.
CMT, was it?
I used to love that.
Me too. My parents
having it on
that.
I'm from Massachusetts. We did not put on CMT.
I am from Newport Richey, Florida. They had that on. But when I grew up, when I got to be an age where I could listen to my own music, that's when MTV was popping on.
Got it. Since 2019, she's been hosting her own daytime talk show, The Kelly Clarkson Show.
Which is phenomenal.
I love it. It's amazing.
Phenomenal. So Brandon Blackstock was born December 16th, 1976, which makes him a Sagittarius. Okay.
I don't know him that well. It's just her birthday is the day before my husband's.
Oh, I know this because Chris's birthday is December 10th. My husband. So that's why I know he's a sad.
Amazing.
His father, Narvel Blackstock, is a producer, manager, and owner of Starstruck Entertainment, a talent management group company. Brandon began to work for his father's company at a young age. And after divorcing from Brandon's mother in 1988, the elder Mr. Blackstock married legendary country singer Reba McEntire, who I'm obsessed with.
Oh my God, I love Reba.
I loved her show.
Me too.
Loved it.
It's like one of my background noise
so
shows. Yeah.
So Blackstock married his first wife, Melissa, in 2001, and the pair had 2 children, a boy and a girl, and they would later divorce in 2012. He also enjoyed a career as a manager and producer, though most of his known work was done in association with Clarkson and her accomplishment. Before
you go forward, I just want to let you know that Narvel Blackstock and Reba McEntire were married from 1989 to 2015. Whoa. So Reba has also separated herself from them.
More reason to hate them. So also it's worth noting how easy it is to find information on Kelly versus how difficult it was to find information on Brandon, because he doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
What kind of loser doesn't have a Wikipedia page?
Red flag.
I need to make sure I get my own Wikipedia.
Yeah, we can do that right now.
Sign me up. It'll just be my own website. That's like erinwiki.com.
Created by Aaron Morse.
Yeah. Aaron Morse LLC. And Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock first met at a rehearsal for the Academy of Country Music Awards in May of 2006.
Okay, so what I want to say about that, so it's not like he was not in, like, already kind of in the industry.
Right.
Like, you have to be pretty involved to be that high up, to be working with Country Music Awards and your dad marrying Reba. Reba.
How'd you get so blessed in that family to land Reba and
Kelly Clarkson?
They must have done something right. That little time frame, life must have been very good for the Blackstocks.
Yeah.
And I hope now they're in the dirt.
Yeah.
They're lying in a ditch. Clarkson would later admit in a 2013 interview with People magazine that she set her sights on him that day. This guy walks by making everybody laugh, and I said, I'm going to end up with him. I know it. He walked past us at that time, and he walked by, and I was ready to take it all off. I felt something. Blackstock.
Manipulation.
What? I bet it was. Blackstock was, however, still married to his first wife at the time.
Ooh.
Which it sounds like from the timeline Kelly respected.
Yeah.
Right? Or she didn't, and we just don't know.
We just don't know.
In 2011, Brandon would divorce from his first wife, and a year later in 2012, he would reunite with Kelly Clarkson at Super Bowl 47. Clarkson performed the national anthem before the game and said she was nervous to do so, but not for the reasons that one would think. She said, "It wasn't that I didn't want to suck for the millions of people I was watching. I didn't want to suck because I was trying to impress a guy. I wanted him to be like, damn, it had nothing to do with the Super Bowl. Girl, you won American Idol.
Also, you were chosen to sing the national anthem at Super Bowl. That is one of the biggest.
And you want to impress somebody who doesn't have a Wikipedia
what you should be
page?
Freaking out about is pulling like a Christina Aguilera and missing the lyric. I don't know.
No, I don't. She missed the lyric?
Oh, yeah. It's really bad. We're going to pull it up after this because it's so bad.
We could do her divorce.
Ooh, I would love to. I love Christina.
Me too.
We're on first name basis.
me and ex-Tina.
Yeah.
The couple would go on their first date 6 days later on February 11, 2012. This also happened to be the same day Whitney Houston passed away. Houston was an inspiration and idol for Clarkson, who later said of the coincidence, I was like, this is a bad omen.
I mean, I can see that. So the relationship between Clarkson and Blackstock gained steam rapidly from there. And within less than a year, on December 14, 2012, they got engaged. The couple was, it was right before his birthday. I thought it was on his birthday for a second. The couple was at their Nashville home when Blackstock popped the question, catching Clarkson off guard completely. Less than a year after that, on October 20th, 2013, the couple was officially married in a farm in Tennessee. Less than a month after that, Kelly announced that they were expecting their first child. At the time, she said that she was predicting her firstborn to be a girl, and in January 2014, she Twitter to confirm that her predictions were correct, stating that only a girl could cause this much drama with all this vomiting. Ha! And their first daughter, River Rose, was born on June 12th, 2014. River Rose sounds like your ideal country Kelly Clarkson's daughter's name. I don't know.
It's either a one of her albums, her like most country album,
Okay.
or an old lady smelling perfume.
Yeah. I think I just Jack and Rose, Titanic.
I wore the River Rose.
I feel like she has to make a song called River Rose.
River Rose.
On August 19, 2015, Clarkson was performing a concert in Los Angeles while introducing her song Piece by Piece, written about how Blackstock was the first man to show her what being loved truly looked like. She began getting emotional, leading her to confess, I was not planning on announcing this, but I'm totally pregnant. I am having a really hard time. After the performance, she continued, I'd like to apologize to my husband. This was not planned. I just didn't want you to think I was crazy or something. Honestly, I'm just so hormonal today. And the couple's second child, a son named Remington Alexander, was born April 12, 2016. I don't like that she felt that she needed to apologize to him.
I know, of all people in the world, right? She wanted to impress, and then she had to apologize to him.
Like, get out of here. In 2019, Blackstock encouraged Clarkson to host her own daytime talk show, The Kelly Clarkson Show.
Is she sexy enough for that?
Yeah. Yeah. For which he was an executive producer. They moved their family from Tennessee to Los Angeles to fit the taping schedule and everyone else involved in the making of the show. Kelly reported that she and her husband worked great together, quoting that he has his own office, I have my own office, and he's always on the phone and he's always working. We really do a good job of being like, I need some me time. When 2020 rolled around and the pandemic hit, Clarkson and Blackstock moved their family to their Montana ranch to quarantine. She also filmed the remote episodes of her show there. And Blackstock assisted whenever he could, according to Clarkson. Quoting, my husband is now a lighting technician, an audiovisual technician, a director, and he's also playing cowboy on our ranch. Despite this, on June 4th, 2020, only a few months into quarantine, Clarkson filed for divorce from Blackstock.
What do you think about the reality that them having to be quarantined with each other caused or highlighted the problems with their divorce?
I think they were forced to actually spend time together. And to me, he seems like a jerk. Like, I don't know much, right? I'm going just based off of what we saw, but it seems to me like she's always trying to impress him. Always.
And I think he just wanted a famous person cash cow.
I think so too. I think he wanted to be on his little ranch playing Cowboy Sam. And he just, saw his way out of it. Like, oh, I don't really want to work with my dad. And I just want to this is my way out.
Yeah, like my dad forced me to work here, and I don't know. I was just trying to
with him.
And she found him so attractive, and he didn't get divorced until later, right? He had this upper hand on her because she was so interested in him. Which, shame on you.
Yeah, shame.
What a blessing to have Kelly Clarkson think you're so amazing.
I know.
So, I just want to tell you, this is a weird side note.
Okay.
But
love that.
Not related at all.
Love it.
You know how Mary says she can't get deliveries to her house?
Yes.
Not only did I order something and have it delivered to her house, it arrived a day early for her.
Phenomenal.
And she was like, what? It's always like 2 or 3 weeks.
She literally told me that she couldn't get it. That makes me feel very good.
I said that my Prime is better than her Prime.
Clearly.
I think I just order so much from Amazon that they're like, oh, this is priority.
Yeah, priority. Oh, this one needs to go out because there's another one coming.
Any second now, we'll have another delivery for this account. All right. Kelly had hired Disso Queen Laura Wasser, who also represented Kim Kardashian and Ariana Grande. If you want to hear about those divorces, just hit up a couple episodes back and you can hear about how Laura Wasser hit us up. Maybe she needs to be on the podcast.
Yeah, she does. Kiss up, girl.
And we can hear all about that. So in her petition filed on June 4th of 2020, she cited irreconcilable differences because California requires a cause for divorce and a fault, but request for Kelly Clarkson to have primary physical custody of the children, a request for enforcement of their prenuptial agreement, a request that Blackstock not be awarded spousal support, a request that each party should be responsible for their own attorney's fees, and a request that Clarkson's maiden name be restored.
Seems very reasonable to me.
Yeah, considering they have a prenup.
Yeah.
In his answer, Blackstock requested $150,000 a month in temporary spousal support and $45,000, 601.
That is insane. I just can't wrap my mind around the 150,000.
You selfish piece of shit.
Because it's not like he's making bad money himself. What do you need it for? I feel like I could also just, I'm going to talk personal for a second. I would think that if I'm making my own money, right, to the level of what he's making, I don't think that's worth it to me.
Also, $45,000 in child support. That's enough to make sure your kids live well.
Your kids are living fine alone on your salary.
People make that in a year.
I know. Loser.
Blackstock remained at the couple's ranch in Montana while Clarkson returned to Los Angeles with their children. Just a few short months later, in September of 2020, Blackstock's talent management company, Starstruck Entertainment, filed a lawsuit against Clarkson for breaching her oral management contract and owing $1.4 million in commissions. The suit alleged further that the company had developed Clarkson into a mega superstar.
That makes me want to roll my eyes as hard as I can. Again, him thinking he's probably like, I made you the star. I did this. What a narcissist. I know I'm turning him into a narcissist. He's saying all this stuff about her. Like,
yeah.
How dare you think that you made her a mega superstar?
And why do you get to own it?
Yeah.
Why do you? And thus, they should be entitled to an additional $5.4 million in commissions by the end of 2020. More on this later.
Yes.
In November of 2020, a time-sharing agreement was reached and ordered. Joint legal and physical custody was awarded. Clarkson was granted majority time-sharing. The court finds that under the circumstances present in this case, the interest of providing stability and continuity for the children weighs in favor of the petitioner having primary custody. The level of conflict between the parents has increased, says every divorce ever. The parties have a difficult time co-parenting due to issues of trust between them. That is the cause of this in every case ever, that they don't trust. Nope. And a lot of times what I find happens in divorces where one parent's like, what about him absconding with the child?
Yeah, I hear this a lot as well.
Okay, what makes you think that? I don't know. I'm just afraid he will.
Yep, that's always no reason. I just think he's going to.
And your fear may be valid and legitimate. However, unless I have evidence to present, right? Because there are two parts of when you're divorcing that you have to think about. One is that, your fears and what you think might happen, and then what I can prove and attain for you in the court.
Yeah.
And I always have to focus on what I can attain for you by agreement or in court. So that's the big thing to think about. Always. That's why sometimes these agreements don't even seem fair, because it's, what's the risk of what would happen in court, right? What would a judge have done in these scenarios? Yes. I don't know. I don't know.
People ask me that all the time. What do you think the judge is going to do? What do you think they're going to say about this? And it's always like, I can't really tell you.
I can't know for sure, but these are the options, right?
These are the options. This is probably what they're going to do. But at the end of the day, I can't give you 100% guarantee that they're going to do this or order that.
Right. So with regard to time sharing, Blackstock can come visit the children in California at his leisure. Mm-hmm. And he's entitled to visitation every first, third, and fifth weekend of the month.
So is that kind of trying to say, like, you're entitled to this, but you don't have to take it?
Right. I think that she wanted to put in there, you can come visit the children at your leisure if you come to California.
But does that mean it has to be only on the first, third, or fifth?
That means that if she says, no, you can't come, at a minimum he's entitled to that.
So, and you know what to think about?
We could put this in. That could be phrased that way.
I feel like, but the fifth weekend?
It's not every month.
Yeah, not every month.
So good luck, sir.
Yeah. Also, he has 2 other children from a different marriage.
So that's a lot of kids on the ranch.
Yeah, on the ranch. I wonder where that wife is. So maybe in Texas.
Call her. boop, 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 boop.
Blackstock sex? My name is Kristen Reed with Live with the Barrymore.
And we're live on the Legal Morse of Action. Is he a jerk?
Yes.
Say it into the mic. I'm put you on speakerphone.
Florida.
You want to be on our podcast?
Yeah.
I just gotta know.
Yeah.
And is it small?
Yeah. Is it?
The children will spend Thanksgiving and from December 19 until 2 p.m. on December 25th with Blackstock. Then the children will spend the remainder of the time through the end of the New Year's holiday with Clarkson. Blackstock will video chat with the children daily at a mutually agreed upon time. And of course, Clarkson and Blackstock shall not speak in a derogatory manner about the other parent to the minor children. The custodial parent shall not allow the minor children to be in the presence of any third party who speaks about the other parent in a derogatory manner.
Clearly something happens.
Why was this not bilateral?
Yeah, why is it just Kelly Clarkson?
Right?
That's why I think something had to have happened that triggered him, because he's a sensitive narcissist.
Sensitive.
And maybe like her grandma or somebody said something. I feel like I've heard this happen in our cases. And he wanted to ensure that the paper said that she can't do that.
Right. And the irony is that it's not bilateral. So it's not like neither parent shall allow. It's the custodial parent. Which is kind of funny because Kelly Clarkson is probably like, what are they going to say about me?
Yeah.
On your 2-day.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't do this, but
no,
you know,
love it.
I have a little bit of a hot take on somebody being a long distance parent and just having the fun time. My hot take is that sometimes that can be better because all of your time spent with the children is fun time.
It is fun.
Children don't typically count overnights. They just don't live like that. But if you have, long weekends where you get to do something fun, if you have holiday time and you have the summertime, you only see your children when they're doing fun things. That's a really good way to build a very positive bond.
And those are a lot of memories that they're going to remember more than probably just like going to school.
Yeah, maybe they'll have memories of that, but you don't remember every single day that you went to school.
Not every single day, but I would remember maybe going to, on vacation with my dad or spring break doing beach week or something.
Exactly. With my mom. Justin Guarini.
Yeah.
I would remember that. In July of 2021, Clarkson requested a bifurcated divorce. The parties still had not reached an agreement as to many of their assets, and Blackstock was contesting their prenup. In the motion, Clarkson stated that she and Blackstock both deserve the opportunity to build a new life, and the request for bifurcation was granted the following month. Do you think that she wanted the bifurcation because technically temporary alimony, or pendente light in Florida, if you will, is not the same as alimony, because when you're married, the alimony that you owe is your financial obligation to a person you're currently married.
Yeah.
Whereas alimony, that's why you can't waive it, because you have a current obligation. Alimony is your financial obligation to a legal stranger. So if she got a bifurcated divorce and that prenup was properly enforced, there'd be no alimony and she could stop the bleeding.
That's probably what they were doing.
That's what I think I would strategize around. I'd be like, she should move on and not be at risk for if she passes away in her estate, and she's constantly jet setting and I don't know, any number of things, right?
Yeah.
Being a famous person, I don't know. I'm sure they could come up with some very good persuasive arguments.
Sure.
But I think it's something that I would do representing a celebrity. I think I would try to maneuver that and come up with a good reason. And then use it against them in the concept of enforcing the prenup. Gotcha.
So at the same time, temporary support was ordered, and Blackstock was awarded $150,000 per month in spousal support, plus the $45,601 per month in child support, despite Clarkson having majority time sharing designation, which I can't just like wrap my mind around, but she does make substantially more than him. He doesn't even have to exercise his time sharing if he really doesn't want to.
Well, he's not trying.
Yeah. He's a loser. So over the next several months, Clarkson and Blackstock would continue to litigate about their marital assets and the validity of the prenup. Blackstock did challenge the prenup by requesting spousal support and attorney's fees. Their prenup also allegedly segregated the assets and income derived during the marriage, while Blackstock contested by requesting a split of the accumulated properties and her marital income. The company's ranch in Montana was a major point of contention, where Clarkson was the sole owner of the property and she bought it on her own, and she wanted the property to be sold. Blackstock, however, who wanted to retire from the music industry and become a full-time rancher, claimed he needed the property for work. He also claimed throughout the divorce that he could not afford to live anywhere else. In August of 2020, really, buddy, you can't afford to live off $150,000 a month plus $55,000.
Life's tough out here.
Poverty.
It's hard with all these cows.
In August of 2021, it was ruled that Blackstock would be responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of the ranch, somewhere in the ballpark of $81,000 a month. That still leaves him with a decent amount per month.
$46,000 in just child support is enough, bro.
Yeah.
I think he should have to pay back all the alimony.
And Clarkson
more on that soon.
And Clarkson initially attempted to have him removed from the home. However, she ultimately agreed to give him 5% share. Ultimately, their divorce would be finalized in March of 2022.
So wait, this sounds like she still owns that property.
It sounds like, and he just gets 5% of it. Gotcha. Ultimately, their divorce would be finalized.
She's his landlord.
Yeah. And with the divorce was finalized in March of 2022 with the terms that seemed to shock the general public. So some of the settlement terms included Clarkson was ordered to make a one-time payment to Blackstock in the amount of $1.3 million, which was believed to be an attorney's fees, but we couldn't really find a good credible source on that to confirm. So
I mean, it's probably attorney's fees. It's probably retroactive. Yeah. It's probably, all of the little me that can come out in when we're trying to get an MSA done. Sometimes you just kind of go the fuck away money.
Yeah. Blackstock was awarded monthly spousal support in the amount of $115,000 and monthly child support in the same amount of $45,601.
Vomit.
Yeah. And that spousal support was terminated in January of 2024. So a little less than 2 years.
Yeah. So 22 months, you'd say?
Yeah. So Clarkson received both properties owned in Montana and the marital home in California, and Blackstock was ordered to pay Clarkson $2,000 per month while he remained in one of the Montana residences until June of 2022. That's like chump change to her.
I know.
Can't imagine. Right? Mm-hmm. Clarkson received the family pets, multiple cars, including a Ford Bronco, a Ford F-250, and a Porsche Cayenne. Why do I always want to say Kanye?
Because we did the Kardashian divorce.
And a flight simulator. Blackstock received the farm cattle, livestock, and stock dogs and horses, multiple vehicles, including a Ford F-350, Ford 250, an ATV, several cat snowmobiles, a golf simulator. They really like these simulators. And a couple Patek Philippe watches. Okay. Public perception of this was widely overwhelming in Kelly's favor. The press and the public alike were enraged that Clarkson owned so much to her ex-husband, because Clark's net worth at the time of the divorce was estimated around $45 million, while Blackstock's was estimated around $10 million, making her the higher earner.
Of course.
And for me, what I'm getting from this is that she's probably going to stay around that net worth for the rest of her life.
I think it's going to increase.
Well, his is only going to decrease.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
What you get for being a jerk.
Yeah. What's her net worth right now?
Oh, yeah. Look it up.
See what the internet says.
This was back in 2022. It was finalized, and that was the beginning of 2022.
Everywhere is saying Cosmopolitan, celebrity net worth, everywhere saying it's 50 million since 2023. Wow. So she's gone up 5 million. That's not bad.
No.
Not doing bad. The business lawsuit. It's my favorite part. Way back in September of 2020, Blackstock's talent management agency, Starstruck Entertainment, filed a suit against Clarkson for breach of contract and $1.4 million in unpaid commissions. In turn, Clarkson filed a petition against Blackstock and Starstruck with the California Labor Commission, which is a required pre-suit action when it comes to labor issues in California. I only know that because of Blake Lively. I don't know a ton about that one, but I heard that on a podcast.
So does this mean that he was actually supposed to do that first, basically?
No, because it wasn't about a labor issue. It was a contract issue. She was
countersuing. Yes, on
right.
A different issue. Okay.
Accusing Blackstock of unlawfully securing work for her and taking on work that talent agents should have handled.
Yes, I took entertainment law in school, and there's so much case law and cases on this, to where I remember at one point thinking, like, it's such a big thing in entertainment law, like, you just Why do people still do it?
Why wouldn't you become a talent agent? Like, is it such a high barrier?
Yeah, just become a talent agent.
Well, let's see what the internet says. Because see, this is why I'm a problem, because I always want to know the answers to things.
Yeah. So there's a super famous case that I remember reading, and I was like, why didn't you just become an agent? But it is a very separate thing. Like, you can't do both unless you have like your.
This is what you need to become a talent agent.
Okay.
A bachelor's degree in business, marketing, communications, or related field. Gaining experience through internships.
Okay.
Entry-level positions with talent agencies is crucial in building a strong network.
I feel like if you're Starstruck Entertainment, okay, and you're doing country music awards and
finish high school, bachelor's degree, internship, just develop your skills and market yourself. Like,
it's really not that much. But like, also, if you're this big of a company, how many talent agents want to work for you? Or probably
also, you can't just have the talent agent signing and facilitating the contracts and be involved. Just like the paralegals, even if they know the answer to something, they go.
Yeah,
come into my office.
Their in-house counsel screwed up on this by not ensuring that was happening.
I agree. The paralegals will come over to me and go, hey, listen, I think this is the answer, blah, blah, blah. And most of the time, I'm like, yes, of course you've seen that 100 times. Or sometimes I'm like, yes, and, or yes, but, or, some other iteration of it. And they're like, okay, great. Can I tell the client you said this? And I want to help resolve this issue. They do that all the time. So that's really what I think the nuance could have been for them to protect themselves, right? Mm-hmm. So things got quiet on this front while the couple's divorce proceedings took place. However, in March of 2023, a multi-day evidentiary hearing took place on the matter. The presiding labor commissioner ruled in November of 2023 that Blackstock collected fees on multiple projects in violation of California's Talent Agencies Act. This act prohibits anyone other than licensed talent agents from procuring engagements for other professional artists. Blackstock's violations include, but are not limited to, Clarkson's gig as a judge on The Voice, her promotional deal with Wayfair, her promotional deal with a cruise line. Blackstock was ordered to repay Clarkson $2.6 million due to this violation. Let's back up for a minute. Let's go through this, Attorney Rahim.
Let's do it.
How much was he ordered to pay? Was he ordered to receive in support?
115.
For how many months?
22 months.
And what's 115,000 times 22?
About 2.6. Showing you the calculator.
Okay, so right under 2.6, 2.53 million. Okay. And he was ordered to repay 2.6 back to Kelly Clarkson. So she got all her alimony back.
Yes, bitch. Also, like, how satisfying. Like, I can't imagine. It's satisfying for us. Can you imagine if it was actually you and you were dealing with this narcissistic?
Oh my God. I think I would go on a podcast tour about this win.
I would just send like something in the mail, like the confetti of my face.
Like the exploding confetti.
Yeah, like a moment like this.
And in the video, or it's like, you lose. You lose.
You lose. You lose. Dead. For her.
The only win for Blackstock this go around was his ability to keep the $750,000 he'd already collected on commissions from the Kelly Clarkson show, which Clarkson had requested he repay her. In December 2023, Blackstock appealed the Labor Commission's ruling and requested a trial de novo, which means of new or of anew, under the jurisdiction of Los Angeles Superior Court. Clarkson fired back in March of 2024 with her countersuit in which she saw any and all commission fees, profits, advances, producing fees, or other monies that she had previously paid to the group dating back to 2007 due to Starstruck having previously been found in violation of California labor rules. This is when you can't stop fucking around. You'll find out.
Yeah, honestly.
A trial was set for August of 2024, but by May of 2024, the parties had come to an agreement and entered into a confidential settlement.
He didn't want to go to trial.
I don't think so. I actually think he was going to lose a lot more.
Yeah. He probably knew it, and his lawyers were like, buddy.
And there's a chance that depending on when she was required to make let's look at this.
The lump sum?
The lump sum payment, that's the amount she said, I'll settle for if I don't have to pay you that.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
That actually is a very good deal.
That would be fantastic, right? So she doesn't have all this BS.
Yeah.
She's done with the alimony.
And she just continues to make money while he does what?
I don't know, plays with cows.
Yeah. So where are they now, right? So Clarkson continues to host her talk show and put out new music. And in 2023, she moved her family and her recording studio to New York City for a fresh start.
Or to be far away from.
Probably.
I almost called him Baldoni. Blackstock.
In January of 2025, Kelly announced that she would be starting her own record label, but only as a channel for her to release her own music. She won't be signing other artists. Okay, good.
That's
for
good.
her.
It's like having my own law firm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As for the love of her life, as for her love life, right? She said recently in an interview that she hopes love will come along for her one day, but that the single mom life doesn't leave her much room for dating. Not just single mom life, she's working all the time.
Oh my God, she's so busy.
Yeah. And so by the time for the time being, it seems like she's just focused on taking care of her children and loving herself. Blackstock did exactly what he said he was going to do by retiring from the music industry to become a rancher. He founded and continues to operate the Valley View Rodeo in Montana. Little else is publicly available apart from that.
So if you didn't like Blackstock already, I want to tell you about this thing that he said. And I remember this. I remember reading this and feeling furious on her behalf. Mm-hmm. So there's an article on People magazine from back in January of 2024 that identifies and states that Kelly Clarkson's former husband and manager, Brandon Blackstock, allegedly did not think his wife was sexy enough to appear on The Voice as a coach. The New York Post reports that the Grammy winner claimed in court last year. In November, Blackstock was ordered to pay $2,641,374 for unlawfully procuring deals as her manager that should have been handled by a talent agent. A ruling his legal team appealed, but they settled, as you know. So apparently he didn't think she was a sex symbol type. And he said that Rihanna was more of an example of who belongs on The Voice, which is ridiculous because she started her career on a voice competition show, and being a coach on the most popular voice competition show right now makes perfect sense for her career and is exactly what she should be doing.
Well, also this further goes into how my suspicions that if he's saying that to a People magazine or whatever,
however it came out, I don't know.
What do you think he's saying to her behind closed doors? She was constantly trying to please him, constantly trying to get his attention. Man, it should be the other way around.
No kidding. He's mid at best.
Gross. No, his personality and the things he did to her makes him like unappealable. It just drops you down, right?
Disgusting.
Like, she deserves someone who's like cheering her on with the cell phone out while she sings. Like,
I know, you're doing great, honey.
Great, sweetie. Yeah. Like, but you know what? It seems like she kind of got out of it and she got back everything. Karma kind of came in and swooped up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So good for her. And if you can't tell, we don't like Blackstock.
I know. Before Clarkson joined the NBC singing competition in 2018, Blackstock, 47, allegedly told his wife the network was looking for a diverse panel of coaches and had to have someone that was Black. He's such a liar. Clarkson also reportedly claimed that Blackstock said that she was too similar to then coach Blake Shelton. I actually think that probably made it amazing because the two of them, it's supposed to be something different every year.
Yes.
Right? So anyway, that's kind of garbage. And one of the things that
also they're different country styles in my
she's
opinion.
Much more pop.
Poppy.
I actually would not put her in a country category at all.
She gets I feel like Carrie Underwood's the same.
I feel like Carrie Underwood is more country than Kelly Clarkson. So? More than Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, I could. Okay, yeah. She's definitely poppy, but she does. The problem is she has
Carrie Underwood is country with pop overtones.
Yes, and she's pop overtones with a tiny bit of country.
Right, exactly, exactly.
And Blake Shelton is just country.
I love Blake Shelton.
Me too. I do too. And he's with Gwyneth now, right? No.
Gwen. Yeah. No, not Gwyneth. Gwen.
Oh, Gwen. Sorry, I'm not
Stefani.
I'm not on a first name basis with her.
I am.
You are. I could tell.
I love her.
You're ready to fire me over, Gwyneth.
Yes. She's another fun divorce that we could do.
Oh, I would love to do that. Or Miranda Lambert and.
But he might be the villain in that, and I don't want to.
We don't want that. We don't want that.
We could still do it.
do it. That's a good one, though.
Anyway, that's it for today's episode of Legal Morse of Action.
We were excited for this one.
We love Kelly Clarkson.
Love her. Can't tell.
Oh, Kelly Clarkson. Anyway, she's amazing. Thank you for listening. If you have any legal needs, family law, and you happen to be in Orlando, Florida, or the state of Florida, we do cover most of the state. Give us a call and go to our website, morse-firm.com. Until next time, we will cover the next divorce in the next episode.
See you later.
See you.